Hi, and welcome to this episode of TankLogic's Portal Help. In this tutorial, I'll show you the new Ticket Transactions version 3.6. This version is designed with a flexible grid so you can customize your editing experience any way you want. Let's look at the major sections of the page and give a general overview. At page top, we have the eye icon, which toggles viewability of certain parts of the page, as you can see here when I select and deselect it. The blue icon, which is a link to a more detailed page help. The orange icon, which is a link to the general page helps that are common to most pages in the portal. And the gray icon, which is a link to the portal changelog, letting you view the most recent updates across the entire portal. The disposal quick links across page top are for convenience and allow navigation to the most recent page versions of several disposal pages, the same as with the main navigation disposal submenus. As I click on Customers, I am taken to the Customers page, and then I'll click back to Tickets. There are 4 buttons at page top that help with submitting on-demand transmissions to remote sites for leases, wells, and driver codes, and checking ticket data and image status. The touchscreen HMIs, or kiosks, located at the remote disposal sites are powered in part by the lease, well, and driver information transmitted from the portal. Let's look at each button. The green HMI transmission button allows you to transmit lease and well information on demand. In our case, we have 2 sites ready for transmission. I can transmit a single site or leave the default to transmit all sites. Let's leave the default to all sites and click on the blue Transmit Lease and Well Information button. Both lease and well files are queued and transmitted within a few minutes. We can now see the status of the files we have transmitted in the orange HMI transmission status button, which allows you to monitor current transmission status of lease, well, and driver code files, and allows you to view the most recent data residing in the HMI kiosk itself. This data from the actual kiosk is somewhat time delayed per 4-hour intervals. However, with an on-demand data push, it is just a few minutes until you see a refresh on your site. We can see here that the files we transmitted are queued. They will be transmitted very shortly. While we wait, let's check out the blue HMI portal button. This button allows you to view the lease and well information transmitted to the remote site. It will display both on-demand or batch transmissions. This is a confirmation of what is configured in the customer and driver pages, and the file that is actually sent down to the remote touchscreen kiosk. So let's go back to the orange button and let's refresh the grid, and we see the files have been transmitted. So let's now go to back to the blue HMI portal button and view what information has been sent. As we click on each individual site, we can see what information they received. The Rose Ticket Alerts button allows you to view ticket data and, where applicable, ticket image status. The grid displays the latest ticket data and image for each site. Let's now look at the Sites panel. The Sites drop-down box is populated with sites configured for disposals. If you don't see a site here that you think should be here, please contact TankLogic support. The Disposal Customers and Drivers panel. This allows you to filter a mix of customers to appear on the grid below. I'll demo the control. You may either select all the customers as is the default, or you can choose individual customers. Let's choose a specific customer. Let's choose this first one, customer 1000. In the driver panel, we see that customer 1000 has 5 drivers. Let's alter the date range and see the tickets within the past year. When I change the date, now we see some tickets populating the grid. Now I'm going to filter even more, and instead of seeing the information for all 5 drivers, I'm just going to select Anne. Now we can see just 2 tickets in the grid. And finally, I'm going to select all customers to get it back to the default. The LeaseWell Search Manual Ticket Creation and Bulk Edits link opens up 3 panels. The LeaseWell Search lets you search and filter on leases and wells, both from the Texas RRC monthly update file and from your own company-defined leases file. There is a full text search across all columns and a more granular column search. You can filter your search by lease number, lease name, well number, operator name, and more. Let's key in Anderson in the lease name box. We can see 441 leases. We can also change the sort order by clicking the green button. You can sort by any of these options and select your preference of ascending or descending. The manual LeaseWell ticket creation lets you create tickets in the web page itself. If you have a large number of manual tickets to create, check out the manual CSV file upload tutorials on our blog. The LeaseWell bulk edits lets you do bulk edits across a variety of fields in your tickets. You may edit up to 200 tickets at a time with any of the available text boxes from lease number in panel top left to customer ID in bottom right. When working with many rows in the grid, you may also use the green Apply Bulk Edits button at page bottom. Now we look at grid search controls. Customize grid columns lets you choose which columns you want to display in your ticket grid. Let's click the blue Customize Grid columns and see the modal pop up. As you add columns, they appear at the far right of the grid. You may need to horizontally scroll to see the edits across a variety of fields in your tickets. On a PC or Mac, you can drag and drop columns in the order you prefer across the grid. To demo this briefly, let's add a couple new fields. How about ticket image count and ticket image status? Let's add these and then save the selections and scroll right to see them in the grid. I'm going to drag them now across the grid next to ticket driver image link. Now I'll click the green Save Grid column order. And the next time we come into this page, the grid number of columns and column order will be preserved. The ticket search allows you to choose multiple tickets separated by a comma to filter the tickets grid. For our example, let's choose tickets 1, 2, and 4 and make sure to separate them by commas. You can see a filtering. This honors the begin ticket start date and end ticket start date ranges. And we'll click on the refresh icon and the grid restores. Now we move to grid batch controls. The refresh ticket grid data refreshes the data but preserves your column filters. Refresh grid data and column filters link refreshes your data and removes your column filters. Edit grid opens up to 10 rows in edit mode. You can easily see which columns are editable by the open and white backgrounds. Reset grid closes all edit mode rows back to read only. Save selected rows saves up to 10 rows in edit mode. Delete selected rows deletes up to 10 rows in edit mode. And CSV download of the filtered rows honors filtering in the CSV. Delete ticket batch tag. This can be used to delete rows on any value in the ticket batch tag column. When uploading CSV files, it's often helpful to create a batch tag on upload so you can organize and delete, if necessary, a set of data that perhaps there's an error in. Duplicate ticket number. This and complete duplicates are explained in the button help. And that is all for the general introduction to Ticket Transactions 3.6. We hope this helps. Thank you for watching.